I'd like to call to order the July 13th, 2017 Recreation Meeting. All councilmen are present except Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Councilman Joseph will lead us in the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Bow our head. Dear Lord, bless this recreation committee to make the right decision for our parish and for the kids. Dear Lord, bless this great state, parish, and great country, O Lord. Also, Lord, bless all the armed forces service members that give us the right and freedom to speak with our mind. Amen, O Lord. Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to remind the public, if anyone wants to make a comment or speak on any issue, the comment cards are at the podium, and go ahead and submit those cards. With that, we'll go to agenda item number 4, the director report by Mr. Ricky Diarmine.
Spring baseball season has ended on the east and west sides. Women's summer ball started Monday. We have 14 teams this year. They are playing on the two backfields at Butch Gore. The men's league also started Monday, and we have 7 teams, and they are playing at the Prairieville Park. Work has started on a pavilion at Keystone, and we anticipate the project to finish by the end of the month if weather's permitting. We have started to ride our parks and start making our project list for next year. And that's pretty much what I have. If you have any questions.
Anybody have questions? Doesn't appear that any of the councilmen have any questions, but I do have one question myself. As far as the park in Ashford Lane, have we decided as far as the pavilion and the bathrooms yet?
At Hillryville,
Yes.
we're working on that. We're trying to get some in-house help to go out there. We have to elevate the property, and it's gonna be a whole lot cheaper if we can get internal help to do that.
And do we know how much the property has to be elevated?
I'm gonna say about 18 inches to get us out of the wet zone.
And we have the dirt that the parish owns.
I
already
think
to do.
we're gonna be able to get some of the dirt, maybe from what the work they did on the backside of Afterland subdivision. I mean, we do have another pit by Henderson Bar if it works out that we can do something in-house.
Okay. Councilman Lambert.
I guess I'm just questioning, I know we got a lot of Lamar Dixon, soccer fields coming up. Can we get an update on where we at on these fields, as far as completion, or when's the timeline on? I know we've been working on them over a year now, and it's kind of, I know kids are ready to play on these soccer fields.
Good evening. Yes, I'll be glad to answer those questions. Actually, we just submitted for next council meeting. You'll get a substantial completion on them. So we're
Okay.
down to a few things, punch items that need to be done. Predominantly still the grass, before play can actually happen, the grass still needs to grow in.
They
and
just
be more
seeded it,
secure.
or was it sodded? It was just seeded, the grass?
It was spring.
It was sprig. They
Sprig,
turned it in. So it's been growing for quite a few weeks now. And the rain, although it's great for our fields, it's not unfortunately been so great for the other work that needs to be done around it. It's still real wet. We have some other things that we're working on that was not in the scope of the construction of the fields, which is a parking lot and stuff that we'll need to get access to it. But other than that, the fields will be ready. Right now, our date is I would expect by 8:15. Joe, am I right? By 8:15, it
So
should be
maybe
able to handle
maybe
some
the fall
practice.
league, fall
Yeah,
league, they
the
should be
fall.
able to play?
I definitely anticipate the fall. They'll be fine to play.
Okay.
I just don't want with the rain that we've been having so much of it. I hate to say, on August 15th, absolutely cleats and everything.
Oh, I understand, yeah.
But we're substantially complete. They've done a really good job. Jay Reed has done an outstanding job. Quality has done a great job making sure we stayed on track, even given the rain,
Okay.
helping us solve some of the issues. So we're
Okay.
very pleased. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. That's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Lawler.
Yes, I think,
No,
no, you
okay.
can sit down. Never mind, Amy, I want you back. No. Talking about the plans for the facilities in the future, do we have long-term plans for each facility?
No,
No.
we do not.
No? That's something I'd like to see, is long-term plans and short-term plans. Because we, to basically to be able to budget for the future, what we're gonna be doing with each facility. I know things change from year to year, but there should always be like a 1-year plan and then also a 5-year plan.
Okay, we'll have that for the next meeting.
Well, I'll give y'all 60 days on that. That's a lot of work for each, what I'm saying is for each park, have a long-term plan, what we're gonna do with it over like a 5-year period.
All right, we'll work on it.
And let's see. And we're also gonna have one for a short term, right?
Yes.
That's what it sounds like. Okay. Is that gonna include, costs?
We're gonna put figures to it.
Okay,
That's gonna help you make a decision and get us more money.
I'm all for it. I'm all for more money recreation. We gotta find a way to pay for it, though. Travis, that's all I have.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 5, soccer field change order number 5, rainy days. Amy Johnson.
So the way I know there's quite a few of these rain days on here, so I'll cover them, if you don't mind, I'll cover them all just in one kind of grouping. It just happened the way that they were submitted through the contractor. I think we canceled a meeting within there. That's why they're all kind of just lumped in, and then we just, kind of got hit back to back with several months of rain. So we just are bringing them all at once. It's extended our project now out to the date is the 29th of this month, I think is the technical date. Completion date of Friday, July 21st. So next Friday is our day, but again, we're putting in the substantial completion next Thursday for council's consideration.
I guess you can need a motion on each individual one, Chairman? I don't,
Yeah.
I make the motion for change order number 5.
Motion by Councilman Joseph. Do we have a second?
second.
Second by Councilman Lambert. Any objection? With no objection, that motion passes. Go to agenda item number 6.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Lambert, second by Councilman Lawler. Any objection? None, passes. Agenda item number 7.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Lawler, second by Councilman Joseph. Any objection? No objection, motion passes. Agenda item number 8, change order number 8.
Motion?
Motion by Councilman Joseph,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Lambert. Any objection? No objection, motion passes. Agenda item number 9, change order number 9, rain days.
Motion.
Councilman Lawler, seconded by Councilman Joseph. Any objection? No objection, motion passes. With that, we go to agenda item number 10. We do have a speaker, Mr. Jeff Pettit. We'll let him speak after Amy Johnson speaks on the issue.
Okay. The quality contract extension is just simply for time, no money. Given the investment we've made in these fields, and given that the substantial and the rain days pushed us back so far, quality's contract would be ending. So I'd find myself under the 45-day lien and the punch list time without an engineering contractor to make sure a few things that we need to be resolved are resolved. So I felt better that we have quality still on contract to cover that time, and that's what the extension is for, just time.
Extension of days, no money,
Yes, sir,
just
no
time.
money, just time, yes, sir.
Any questions?
You let him speak.
Let him speak.
Pettit?
Okay.
Thank you.
No motion now.
Amy answered my question.
Oh.
It's just a time extension and no money to the parish. And that was my question, and she answered it, so thank you.
Make that motion, Mr.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Lambert, second by Councilman Joseph. Any objection? With no objection, the motion passes. With that, we go to agenda item number 11, Ascension Parish School Board Agreement.
What we're gonna do is we basically have an intergovernmental agreement with the school board, but since the flood, their facility is one of a few of them that we're not gonna be able to use. So in return, they're asking us to use the gym for their boys' basketball season and also for their volleyball, for the girls' volleyball. So they're gonna be looking to get in an agreement with us to use our gym this year. We use about 12 or 14 of their gyms for our Little League basketball program. So all we were asking for is an agreement, intergovernmental agreement to enter into, allow them to use the gym facility at Lamar.
I guess the question is,
Councilman Lambert?
how much How much usage, is it gonna take? Are we gonna be able to have any of our organized sports there also? We better work it in, should I say?
Yeah, the volleyball will take place immediately, the practices and stuff right after school. They only have a few home basketball games, so I don't see it interfering
Okay.
with anything that we have going.
Our
But we
program.
have that good relationship with the school board.
They've been good to us, you know,
Yeah,
we've
they
been using
loan
their
us stuff.
facilities for as long as I can remember. My kids were playing way back.
Yeah, they're really good to us. And we're gonna be looking for another gym in Donaldsonville, this year because we lost the old DHS gym. So this deal is gonna benefit both of us tremendously.
Okay.
Councilman Joseph?
I know we are working on the deal with Lamar Dixon to use that facility. Are we gonna make sure we coordinate that facility is not being used? Because now we're doubling our uses with that gym.
We was negotiating with Lamar, but a lot of that negotiation started to fall apart with the way this was gonna work. It looks like Recreation's gonna be in control of the gym facility, 100%.
I believe they mentioned that at the, meeting this week, huh? Finance, I believe it was, on his report, when Kyle came up.
Well, no, he seemed like he had that extra space. If I'm
And
not
listen,
mistaken.
we have a good working relationship right now with Lamar Dixon as far as, we still primarily schedule the gym. If they have a need, yeah, you can have it. If it's open, good. It's just that the negotiations as far as sponsorships and things of that nature is where we're kinda at a
Okay.
standstill. You know, recreation wants what we want and they kinda want what they want, so, you know, maybe we'll put it together eventually, but it's still a work in progress.
Councilman Lawler?
Wasn't Recreation though supposed to make money off of this deal with Lamar Dixon?
We still get, even like Lamar Dixon has booked it twice so far, I think. And we do get the rental. We
Okay.
get the rental, on the gym and they get the, whatever extras they have in there. 'Cause I think they have setup and usage fees, they have cleanup, things of that nature, but we still get the base rental.
Okay. I'm just concerned to hear that it's falling apart.
It's not so much the gym as much as it is the sponsorship, aspect of the deal. But that's just something that we're still working through.
Now, does Recreation have sponsors at the gym?
No,
Wouldn't that be a source of income for Recreation?
it would, but we can't solicit it,
But Lamar Dixon can.
right? So the split is where we're, not jiving at
You mean
right now.
who gets how much? You say
Yes,
it's split.
yes,
Negotiation.
You know, Aaron, you like, you don't
Right.
wanna give the certain people money yet, you know.
Well, I guess well, I'm looking at the split being Recreation gets nothing versus Recreation gets something, and right now we're at nothing, and that's what I'm concerned about.
yeah, and I understand that in our, concept was kinda, well, we have 2 million in the soccer field and over 300,000 in the gym, so we have a good investment there, and we're still responsible for all the maintenance. So some splits we just didn't agree on. But we're still working on it. We're gonna continue working.
Now, with the soccer fields, are we responsible for the maintenance there, Parish?
That's yet to be determined.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a copy of the agreement with soccer yet.
Okay, but what about the gym? The basketball teams, are they gonna be maintaining that?
No, recreation does.
Okay. I guess I wanna make sure that everybody's getting treated fairly.
Right.
Well, we're going back to, we use a big majority of their gyms for our youth program. I mean, we get 12 gyms, they actually use one. right
Oh,
now.
I'm not as concerned about the school board, I just wanna
I
see.
think Councilman Lawler's talking about private teams that use the gym. I think that was your question?
Yeah, the private teams that use the gym, I mean, do they have any maintenance requirements or anything?
They clean
Pay the-
up behind
pay the
their
rent.
own stuff. It's usually not an issue.
You know, that's, no, you can go.
You go.
Okay. So I was gonna ask, as far as like the rates to rent the gym, you know, I was looking today, online. Is that online?
I looked for the gym rates online and I didn't see them. I saw Santa Mall, Oak Grove, but I'll go back and check with, the Secretary's office. I know it was brought to Recreation Committee and voted on. I just don't know why it's not in the ordinance, but I did look for that myself too.
No, I mean, I would just like to see it like on the recreation website. I was looking at
Right.
the Covington website today for, City Covington's recreation. And you can get on there and they've got everything on there. And we are still, I don't know where we are on that. I'm sure it's a computer issue of some sort.
Yeah, we could put all of them on there. That's not.
Yeah,
a
I mean,
problem.
I don't see why we wouldn't. It should be
Right.
public knowledge of
Right.
what it costs. But I just, we really need to look at the whole, agreements on all our parks and everything, because I was getting a lot of calls today on Butch Gore, people wanting improvements on it.
Right.
And part of the explanation, we could talk about it more later, but was that, you know, we don't have unlimited funds, but we certainly have to find ways to pay for things, how to fundraise. And if recreation can't fundraise, then we have to look at other ways of getting money. And one way would be when we have a facility like Lamar Dixon that has the ability to sell signs and all that sort of promotional aspects of things. If we're not gonna utilize that, then we're just throwing money away in recreation.
Yeah, I actually called Youngsville Sports Facility today.
I was there 2
Um,
weekends ago.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
and
$10 million facility.
Yeah, because they're a municipality also, so I was just trying to,
Sponsors everywhere.
yeah, I was just trying to get a feel for how do you do it? You know, how do you make it work?
Well, they have a
Because
1 cent sales tax.
He did tell me that, but they also get sponsorships.
1
So
cent.
I'm trying to figure out how I can get that.
And the land was donated that they built the
Yes,
facility
it
on.
was, yeah.
It's awesome. It's
Right.
I visited.
turf fields on the it goes out into the outfield. It's
Yeah.
It's
just,
amazing.
it's $10 million facility.
We visited the facility about 2 months ago, and it is beautiful.
We stayed there for a weekend last weekend with my
Yeah, so maybe we can pull some
Playing ball.
ideas from them and see if there's more that we can do that we're just not doing right now.
Well, I know we've talked about before, like a 501c3. Have we made any progress on that?
Our leagues have them.
But our recreation department doesn't, so if people want to donate money to recreation, the money would go into the general fund, and then it disappears.
Right.
How did Youngsville say they did theirs? 'Cause
He told me I needed to send him an email,
was there,
because I was reading the same thing Aaron was reading
Mm-hmm.
today. I was following that feed, so I was, I would like to have those things that Butch Gore's, very, very utilized. It's 12 months out the year. It's all day, every day. I
They
would like
got,
to have turf fields.
their big facility in the middle is sponsored by Cox. Cox has big signs up. The center of each one of their ball fields must be the big sponsor of the field.
So-
It's
I-
big companies and
So I'll wait for that email return from him, and then maybe I can report back on it next meeting.
And I can add a few things to it, because we did go a few months back. Actually, we went to Youngsville and talked to them when we were still at that point of, and the conversation had first come up about Lamar Dixon and Recreation partnering, and we knew we needed a parking lot. We knew we needed some other things to flesh out the entire area for use. Youngsville is a municipality. They said that, I was told they did get an attorney general's opinion that they could sell advertisements, and they basically have a sticker and sign on the bathroom faucets and everything in that
everything.
facility. What they were told by the attorney general, it had to be a direct, equal value. In other words, they couldn't get something like, oh, they get this, and then they get free tickets to all the events. It couldn't be anything like that. They built a parking lot, and the value of that was X number of dollars for this sign, for this term of, for this length of time. That's what they communicated to me. Andre, who was there, he's not there anymore. We also were able to get a copy of their MOU that they have with their 2 soccer clubs, and how they use or negotiate with them for recreation purposes, and then for any tournaments they might sponsor is a completely different type of negotiation they may take. And they also gave us some feedback on maintenance, where our highest costs might be, and how they had worked with their clubs as well to kind of offset or potentially offset some of that cost. And then the responsibility of the club's just on recreation weekends. So Youngsville really was able to help us out. Now, I know they're probably, with Michelle's request now, Andre's gone, and I think they've got somebody new in his place, so that might be why she wasn't able to get as much information back. But that's what at the time they told me that they were able to do directly. They didn't have a 501c3. It was directly Youngsville with, and they also told us that when they built that complex, they had one hotel and 2 restaurants, and they now have, McDonald's paid them money because they sold out the first week in a tournament. They had to shut down at noon the Saturday of because they had completely sold out of food. They now have a thriving,
There's hotels everywhere.
yeah, hotels, restaurants, that complex. Now, granted, it's got baseball, it's got tennis, it's got, I know that, I think it was Ascension hosted, some league out of Ascension hosted their tournament, their tennis tournament over there sometime last year. It's got more things to offer than we do. However, there is some sports tourism drivers there that they really were able to equate, and hopefully we can realize, with the gym and the soccer field. So, but that's the information. I think I've given it, but I'll send it all over again. But that was what they told us about the sponsorship.
Dig into it a little deeper and find
Yeah.
out for sure if we can make it happen. Even if we got to get an opinion from the
Well, that's what I say. I'm gonna make a motion that we ask, legal counsel to get an attorney general's opinion on selling ad space, at all of our recreation facilities. I mean,
I'll second that.
Got a motion by Councilman Law, second by Councilman Lambert. Any objection? No objection, the motion passes. Any other questions?
Nope.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 12, the West Ascension Recreation Update. Councilman Joseph.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this here to the council. After the basic phone calls and disagreements I've been having with some stuff, and I had some concerns on how we do business in Ascension Parish on one side of the river than the other side of the river. And basically, I would like to make sure our rules apply to all sports program and is equally funded, equally, all the rules and regulation are the same, as close as possible. And I got a couple of questions to ask the recreation. Rickett?
Yeah.
Or Michelle or anyone on there. Do we pay any baseball, basketball managers any fees for work they've done doing
Only-
recreation?
Yes.
What are the fees on one side of the river and what's on the other side? Are they the same, or they varies? Basketball varies from baseball, baseball varies from what?
I'm gonna let Michelle answer because she works more with the programs.
Okay.
We do pay for like scheduling, field scheduling, umpire scheduling, and it kind of depends on what you do, how long your seasons run, what your seasons are. Like,
You can give examples of some people work the whole season.
yeah, this year was the first year that we paid boys baseball, and we're trying to kind of, with everything, we're trying to kind of level the playing field. So I think he got $200 a week, and he manages 1,100 kids. So he does all the scheduling. He makes sure the umpires there, concessions, all that. He makes sure that my league operates smoothly.
So that's baseball.
Right.
And on this side, they get $200.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. My adult softball guy, he gets 150. My girls guy, he gets 250, but he also works the fields. So it's different people. Different people do different, have different responsibilities, so their pay is a little different.
All right. Are they part-time workers or they're contracted?
They're seasonal employees.
Seasonal employee? And basically, does anyone else knew that before tonight?
I think we talked about this before.
I don't recall us ever putting the fees together or what they should be paid.
Well, we didn't put the fees together. I guess administration, but, work that out. I assume.
Well, on that, I know I got one part-time worker or employee, and he get paid for how many weeks the baseball season was? 6 weeks or 10 weeks?
For what? For where?
West Side.
Oh,
How long it was? 3, 4, 5?
I think their season is about 4 or 5 weeks because they share fields with,
As a part-time employee, he got paid $5,000?
yeah.
So basically, for those 4 or 5 weeks, he got paid $1,000. Is that fair? I'm asking nobody. I don't think it's fair.
You got paid what now?
5,000.
5,000 for 6 weeks?
I didn't want you to jump in, I had my hand up.
Mr. Blue,
He's looking right in. I couldn't.
Is that fair? That's one of my problems.
No. We need to treat recreation on the East Bank and West Bank.
Okay? Guys, I deal with this here, okay? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm just, I hear my constituents saying, we do not get. You just heard the numbers. You can check the numbers.
But can I say one thing?
Yeah.
She did mention 1,100 to 1,200 kids. How many kids is on that side?
I think the last time, y'all get the report.
245 kids on it.
That makes a difference on the ratio of what he's registering all these kids and keeping up with all these, it's a whole
Yeah,
lot
they
more
have less-
games and the whole.
They have less kids.
They have less kids.
Yeah, and they're getting paid
More, it sounds like.
a tremendous amount more.
So you're saying your guys are getting paid too much?
For 4 weeks?
I'll take that
I
job.
don't know. Y'all could tell us as far as who is just getting paid,
It was an agreement that was in place when I took over recreation.
Had to be an administration move.
What is the registration fee on this side of the river, and what's the registration fee on our side of the river?
Over here, it varies from $60 to $90. On the West Bank, it's $35 per child.
And I think we supplement, that's what we call
A
it?
recreation department supplements $35 per child across on the West Bank.
Is that fair? I don't think it's fair.
That was in place also.
Yeah, well, I'm learning a lot too. I get beat up just like everybody gets beat up up here too on recreation. But I'm getting beat up, and I think we're getting a better deal, okay? I just think that recreation, like my good friend over there always say, Todd, what you say? Is no east side, west side?
Dang straight.
Well, God dang it, I just think this time I can agree with you.
Yeah.
And so, I'm basketball, baseball, football, soccer, tennis, marbles, I do not care. We need some rules and regulations that we know that we approve this committee. Because I've been here 12 years, and like you say, we talk about stuff, but we don't see it recently. We don't see how much money we get in registration, what we pay, insurance, but we're always saying that recreation is broke. And I have a problem with lack of knowing what's going on in recreation with these organizations. Because what it is, you do not run recreation, you run facilities. I agree. Is I'm right or wrong?
Right. We got our organizations. The leagues over here stand on their own. They make their monies out of their concession stands, and they hold fundraisers, So, and we had a meeting earlier this week, it will be west side, the east side gonna be doing the same things next year.
Well, I want to make sure it come to this committee, y'all. Okay?
Make a motion, bring it back.
You know, that every policy and procedure is reviewed, every fee that we charge on baseball, every facility, the rent is brought up in front of us and is equalized to everyone the same. Based on square footage, however you want to do it, but it's fair. Because I'm not going to be beat up no more about what is what, who get what, who don't get what. It will be fair across the board. So I'm making a motion that Recreation Department come back, review all fees, all policy and procedure on rental fees, what we pay employees, part-time, contractor, across the board. If it generate or give out any government funds, I want to see it in writing and what we give it before we do it in the next fiscal year.
We'll have it at the next meeting.
That's second.
Motion by Councilman Joseph, second by Councilman Lambert. Any objection? No objection, the motion passes. Councilman Lawler seems to have a question.
Yes, how much does the baseball leagues pay the parish?
It varies, like T-ball is $25 a kid, T-ball's, pretty much no cost. And then you go from 7 to 15 pays 10, and 15, 18-year-olds pay 25, and that's only because their insurance is a little more expensive. I think on the east side, our insurance bill is normally about $7,000 for the coverage, and on the west side, it's somewhere around 1,000.
So, what are the costs for softball? They're the same?
Softball charges a $60 registration across the board. It don't matter what age you are, and they pay 10. They buy top and bottom uniforms. They pay 10 to the parish.
Why are we charging different fees for male and female?
Well, we're not charging different fees for male and
Then can
female.
boys play softball?
I mean, I guess they could. T-ball is both. It's mixed. But we don't have our U13 is our biggest age group at Butch Gore. Boys go 15 to 18-year-old, and it's a little different. It's more aggressive. The insurance is a little bit more, and we voted at that meeting to let them wear metal cleats, so we gotta make sure they're covered.
So, they don't provide their own insurance for the leagues? We do?
We do.
Do we do that for soccer also? Are we gonna do that?
I'm not sure because soccer is not a parish program from what I can understand. They're not it
So
was
do we charge-
Gonzalez Soccer Club, so I don't know what we've never had any dealings with soccer. This will be the first time, so it's kind of uncharted water.
What about like the basketball teams? Do they have to
We
pay?
cover that insurance.
They don't pay at all?
Well, they pay $10 a kid, girls and boys, to the parish.
Not Travis.
Not travel?
Travis is AAU,
Let's
that
clarify
don't
this
even
right
count.
Make sure we clarify this.
Hey, you
He's
brought
talking
that
about
up.
the AYBA.
That's right. I'm just saying, that's totally different. Because we have a bunch of travel league,
Yeah, he's AAU.
Yeah, no,
and we got baseball travel league,
We do.
and they use our field.
look, I'm not worried about LeVar right here, LeVar Ball
But
here.
when you go back,
They have their
when you go
travel
back to
teams.
soccer, that's where you stand, that's where the soccer's staying at.
Yeah, travel
Is it
teams
the program
provide
or
their
is it
own
a-
insurance. We don't provide insurance for travel teams.
Yeah, they have to carry insurance on their own, but do these teams, so I guess they're not paying for the fields? They're Ascension youth, the Ascension softball and baseball
Right,
teams?
no, there are leagues, yeah, no.
Okay. I don't see how we're charging people different amounts. I mean, that seems problematic also.
Well, I mean, these were brought up before committee and voted on, so if we want to vote another price, we're fine with that too. It doesn't matter. You know, it's a fee.
We need a special meeting.
Yeah.
But I think we definitely, that this has to be part of it. I think it was part of that motion to come back with all of these fees.
Yeah, it
So we
is.
can look at it.
Just fees to discuss.
And is that, I'm assuming that motion also included fees to private organizations, private baseball teams, basketball, soccer, and how much they pay?
Yeah,
Are they all?
I have all of that already, so it's just gonna be as simple as printing it out. I keep those.
These travel teams, they rent our facilities.
No, I understand that.
They pay pretty good rent.
Yeah, I'll be honest, part of what I've looked at, my kids play ball at Gonzales, and they're packed. Half the kids are from Prairieville, Santa Ma, everywhere else. We are hemorrhaging players.
Right.
But there's a reason for that. We're not providing the service. We're not providing a good service to our players. And I don't just make that up. I hear it from parents all the time.
We have pretty good sized leagues and we don't have enough facilities. What we should have. We met early in the year. You know where I'm going then.
I do, but I tell you, Gonzales, when we played ball, there were 12 9 and 10-year-old teams, and there are 2 ball fields right there.
I think they're least on the-
Well-maintained, ran on time, and that's just the problem that I'm seeing, and now I'm seeing that we're charging people different amounts, basically based on male, female.
I don't think it's based on male,
They're
female.
being based on race.
It's
Softball.
based on the league, you know. That, it ain't a male-female thing.
It's based on race.
We can see, we don't agree with whatever the fees are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just, golly.
I mean, understand, it was based on fees that were set in the past.
Yeah, well, this all has to be redone. We'll have this at the next meeting, so that's good.
Well, I do have a quick question, and since Aaron has brought it all up. Is there any particular reason why we have independent organizations running our leagues instead of the parish running the leagues themselves?
Well, there's a lot to that, Travis, and one of the things is, we're not allowed to work our employees on weekends. Most of the tournaments and playtime is on weekends. You have some of these people that run these leagues, they get volunteers to help them keep the restroom facilities up, they work the fields while they're out there. So those are some of the reasons why we do let league presidents take over and get paid for something.
Now, as far as
It's minimum pay for the work they do.
the employees for the parish, why can't they work weekends?
Yeah.
We're being told we can't work overtime unless it's very much an emergency.
So-
Don't have money to pay 'em.
So in theory, it's just as in theory. If we started running the programs ourselves, and say for example, I know the basketball teams they play on Saturdays for the AYBA. So with the recreation department or the employee that would be working those events, could we just they don't work maybe Monday and Tuesday so they can work on Saturday?
Well, I'm gonna go to this. A lot of employees don't like working weekends,
But most people,
like getting paid.
but most people work when they're getting paid though. I mean, if they're not gonna work Monday, but they'll work Saturday, because only during basketball season or whatever season it is. I know baseball's played during the week as well, right?
They don't mind working overtime as long as they get paid, but if they work a Saturday and take a Monday off in the same pay, they don't.
But the only sport that really only plays on Saturdays is the AYBA, correct?
All our ball teams.
The baseball
Yeah.
plays during the week as well, right?
Both.
So, but we're not playing games at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Our tournament.
Well, I mean during the week. During the week, we're not playing at 9 o'clock during the morning, like during school.
Oh.
So technically, those recreation department employees who would be working these events could come to work at 1 or 2.
Well, that's
we can't
mine
do
and
that
Ija's, that's what we
I got
do.
a problem on the West Bank, and I can
So,
tell you
yeah,
right now.
we also have other responsibilities in there. Like Ija, like for example, Ija, her basketball, and she runs that solely by herself. She works weekends, she works nights during the week because Westside basketball does play on the weekdays and on the weekends. But she's also responsible for leasing facilities over there, and making sure that her crew, you know, is managed. So it's not as simple as we only take care of baseball, or we only take care of, we have multiple duties in there.
Okay, so you're telling me we can't run an ad for a recreation employee who's willing to work on weekends, and we won't get anybody to apply for that job?
Can I answer that for her?
Yeah.
Because I got an answer.
I mean, I'm just having experience on this on the west side, and then I'm with that. They got 3 employees, okay? And then we got baseball tuning, we got all this stuff, we got to cut grass. So we put them on weekends to work, and then on Monday and Tuesday, they may have to take that half a day or day off. So now instead of having 2 people on the lawnmower to cut all these fields, and they have to be done, and then they have to go over there and run and take care of baseball fields, because, you know, we have the special interest group and all that. Really, they don't have the manpower. I agree with you on weekend, but then we fall back into recreation don't have any money, because that's where the employees come from, out of that budget.
But I'm gonna
And
disagree.
Travis,
But I'm
and
disagreeing with
Travis.
that thought though, because if at that point we're running the league, don't we have more income coming in? Because we're getting the full registration fee and not the 10% that they're giving us, and you're running concession stand at that point. So
Well,
shouldn't you be able to, in theory?
You're gonna run off a lot of volunteers, and you're gonna have to employ a whole lot of more people to do what you're talking about.
But I mean, Brett,
We got coaches, they coach, they don't get paid. But if
I
you
know, I
start
understand that,
taking
but if I'm not-
all that away, we have to provide concession workers, we have to provide umpires. I mean, it gets to be a scheduling problem, and
We tried the concession thing, it was
how,
terrible.
let me ask you this: how does Break do it? Does Break pay?
Or every other parish.
Frank has a dedicated tax.
Just better than
They
we
can
do.
do what they
Got a
want.
big tax.
Well, I know Breck has their own tax, but I've been to some of these facilities that's, you know, for any type of event. They have employees that's working these events. It's not all volunteers. And I don't think just because we had a parish employee or somebody working at whatever facility that you still wouldn't have any volunteers. Because I know a lot of times they still have a requirement for if you have a child on the team, you have to work the concession stand or work the gate at least 1 game per season.
you're not gonna lose them all, but you're gonna lose some. You know what I mean, I'm going back to what you was asking a while ago, but this breaking up shift stuff, trust me, that will not work. It's hard enough to get employees that wanna work, to get them there 40 hours a week nowadays.
You know, hey, look, all I can say is, we got to do something different, because this ain't working. I mean, you know, people, like Aaron said, we're losing kids, you know? We're, you know, our facilities are not up to par, you know? And then sometimes we just mismanage stuff, you know? So, we have a problem. And how we gonna solve it? Guys, I don't know, but we gotta do something, at least we can control from our point, and administration point, a better management part of it, and the information part of it to the public. So they'll know those fees, they'll know what they're getting into, you know? Instead of someone saying, well, over here, the same building is $20, and the building over there is $200. You know, we got to do better. You know, that's all.
The fees are set on the rentals, but it's based on size.
Right.
They vary.
That's all I have to say, Mr. Chairman.
With no further questions on number 12, we move to agenda item number 13.
What is that? Oh, motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion to adjourn by Councilman Lawler, second by Councilman Lambert. Meeting adjourned.